Oh man, yo, it's funny because now that I guess I'm officially fired, right? Now that I'm no longer employed, i.e., unemployed, I'm busier. I'm much busier. So what? I need a nap. I was supposed to put my shades on, but I'm busier. I realized that, for one, I was always 10 steps ahead. Let me backtrack a little bit and just show y'all. For one, I was always 10 steps ahead. You know, you feel it coming. I listened to my mind. I was getting tired and things of the sort. So I kind of, just started slowly but surely prepping. So much so, I made a whole list, right? A whole list of things to do once I depart ways with my job, right? Which is where we're currently at now. And I'll get into that whole situation. Excuse me. I'll, shoot some content and get into that. But for right now, I just want to focus on the brand and lock in and, solidify the foundation. Nonetheless, it amazes me how much busier I am now opposed to then. You know what I mean? Now, granted, I was always working towards this anyhow, but now I have more time, obviously, to focus on me. And I see how one could easily slack off tremendously, from an entrepreneurial standpoint, because you have, for one, you don't have anybody telling you what to do. And for two, you have a lot more time, so it seems, right? You're not jumping up in the morning and rushing to get to the train, to get to your car, to get to work, to clock in on time, right? So it's like you have to clock in yourself. You have to give yourself those windows and those periods of time to work, right? And that's where I'm currently at right now. I'm in the process of just working, striving to figure things out, and not even so much figure things out, more so reorganize things, so to say, because now, to be frank, it seems as if my time is limited. It seems as if my time went from here to here, due to me having so many different ventures that are in place, taking place, and in mind, right? As well as on paper. And with that being said, it's time for me to boss up. You know what I mean? Since I've been about 17, 16, since I can remember, let's just say that, a teenager, right? I've been working. Now, it was one point in time more so a dark side of my life to where I wasn't working, and I'll probably put that in the book, you know what I mean? Or somewhere along the way, I'll shoot it into some sort of series or documentary, interview, etc. Nonetheless, since I can remember, I've just been working. And I say that to say, I've never taken a moment, right, just to focus on me, just to brand myself. And when I did start taking those moments, i.e. while I was at work, right, I felt myself starting to do this. And the more I started to do this, the more I pulled away from my job. I'll give you an example even. I was going over some numbers and I said, Joe, even from a numerical standpoint, it didn't even make sense with me working my previous job, because the amount of money that they were paying essentially was less than my expenses. When you really break it down, especially on an average basis, and I'm also speaking after taxes. But the thing is, I'm an investor, so every dollar that I make is going towards an investment or a liability, right? An asset or a liability to do what? To increase my equity, right? To increase my bottom line, my net worth, right? And so, with that being said, I'm all over the place. I'm striving to connect to the internet. With that being said, going forward, I'm just going to take at the very least, it's funny, my wife and I, we spoke previous to me even losing my job, and we said, yo, listen, and at some point in time, I'm gonna have to take at least 3 months just to really focus on me and everything that I have in mind, right? Then that 3 months turned into 6 months, right? Now, with me really in the thick of it, so to speak, I'm seeing that those 6 months needs to be a year. In other words, I'm going to take 12 months, no work. I don't want to work for anybody but me. If a person offers me $1 million a day, I'm going to turn it down, respectfully. Because if they offer me $1 million, that probably means they're making at least 10 to 20 million, right? That's for starters. Secondly, I just want to work on myself. I want to work on myself. I want to work on myself. I just want to see what that ending result would be like. The only time I get to envision that ending result of me working on me for 12 months is when I dream, when I'm asleep. When I really, which is rarely, get a moment to just sit back and meditate even. If I go on the roof, right, of my building, mashallah, and just sit back nighttime with my wife or even by myself, I get to really sit back and just envision what those 12 months will be. And me personally, I truly believe I can't miss. I cannot miss. I'm too charismatic. I'm growing on a daily basis. I'm starting to crack different algorithms. And I'm just expanding and increasing as time progresses, right? The stock market is something that I have a passion for. And I still feel like a newborn baby, even in the stock market space, right? So thus, I plan to try to learn, no, not try, because to try is to fail. I plan to learn the stock market inside and out, from a technical standpoint to a fundamental standpoint. I want to know it all. And with me obtaining that knowledge, I know for a fact it's only going to cause me to prosper. It's only going to cause me to prosper. Me working on myself, me chiseling away at myself, what does that look like? What does that entail? What does that exemplify? I don't even get to read as much as I used to. But now going forward, anything that I have in mind, anything that I wanted to do, I'm going to do it. Except for fill out a job application. That's the only thing that I'm not pressed to do right now. I want to work on me. I want to reintroduce myself to the world as Jaquan Bailey, as a leader of a tribe. You understand what I'm saying? As an intelligent investor, as a workout guru, as a Muslim. Like, this is how I'm on it. This is how I'm moving. This is what I have in store. Excellence, black excellence, nothing short of that. And that's going to require a significant amount of discipline, patience, resilience,